welcome back to our Forcecast. We're back after 2 weeks. We apologize for not having an episode last week. We are your anchors, Morgan.
And Austin.
And we are back this week.
Yes, sorry about last week. That was our bad.
Yeah,
More
just
technically,
some
it was her
things
bad,
didn't.
but-
Hey.
Technically, I forgot Alex and I were going to do something anyway, so it probably wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, there were things on both our parts that just ended up not working out. So we just decided to nix it and do it the following week.
Yes.
Austin currently has a prop pipe in his mouth.
Blew a smoke dragon, in case you didn't see that.
Not a smoke ship like Gandalf.
No. There's a smoke dragon in the book, I think.
Is there?
Maybe.
I don't remember. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode. We'll get to our topics here in just a minute.
You did say you had a dream after I came home from my mission. I started smoking from a pipe.
Yes. Anyway, before we get to...
Let's get the fire started.
Yeah. Before we get to this week's topics, we'll start with our normal starter segments, our On This Day, and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings history. Austin, kick us off with Star Wars.
Yes, oh gosh. It's freaking out. Alright. So, I'm going to do a couple from last week. I forget all what days or what anymore. So I'm just going to start with the most important one. March 22nd, 1976. Principal photography begins in Tunisia for a little film called A New Hope. Well, then called Star Wars. Like, that's literally what it was called. It was just
Star Wars.
But yes, principal photography began in Tunisia. And the funniest bit, next day, March 23rd, 1976, the on-location shooting in Tunisia for A New Hope is hit with the first winter rainstorm in 50 years. Which I think is hilarious because it's like George Lucas goes to the desert. He's like, it's desert, no water, no rain, sets are fine, costumes are fine, everything's fine. Don't have to worry. First winter rainstorm, 50 years. There's pictures here of guys like cleaning up the set, making sure everything's nice and dry again. I just think that's hilarious because it's like, I come here thinking it's gonna be fine.
Are you kidding me?
Even though I don't think George Lucas has shown that much emotion in his entire life.
No.
By the way, I saw a meme today. Sorry, sidetracked, but I saw a meme today. Said kind of in parallel with each other. The prequels, great writing, poor execution. Originals, great writing, great execution. Sequels, poor writing, great execution. I completely disagree with most of that because the prequels did not have great writing. The prequels, everything about it was bad. I don't care the writing. As a writer myself, as a storyteller, as someone who's taken screenwriting classes, as a person who's watched a lot of movies and has watched the worst of the movies that ever has been made, the prequels do not have great writing at all. They do not have great execution. The only great thing about their execution is the casting of Ewan McGregor and John Williams' musical score.
Yeah, I literally was about to say, the only good part is Ewan McGregor.
John Williams tries so hard. It is so cute how hard he tries, because you're like, man, you want us to feel something in this moment, John, but I just don't. Anakin Skywalker's leaving his home. The music is swelling. It's the Force theme we all know from the first Star Wars. We're like, I'm sorry, John, I just don't feel anything for this whiny little brat.
I like the romantic music. With
Yeah, that
Anakin and
music's
Padme.
great.
I'm like,
I don't feel anything, because he literally just uttered the words, I don't like sand. Like,
it's like, yeah, this is so
nothing.
romantic. I'm feeling it, John.
I feel nothing. I will say the prequels give us the best music. In any Star Wars game, all of the battle music, all the really great battle music comes from the prequels. I'm not going to lie. It has amazing music. The rest of it doesn't really do that much for me, though. Hey, my battery's charged. Anyway, continuing on towards this week. Wait, was that? Oh, no.
Oh.
Wasn't. Billy D. Williams got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in March 27th of 1985. I thought it was his birthday. It's not. Let's see.
Today's March 28th, just so you know.
Yeah, we're going into April.
Just going into April a little.
April, actually. April 3rd, 1978. Star Wars, now A New Hope. Star Wars wins 6 Oscars at the 50th Academy Awards.
Woo!
Including art direction, sound, original score, editing, costume design, visual effects, and a special achievement award for sound effects editing, which it deserved, of course, because the guy who did it, I forget his name. I shouldn't, because it's a travesty to forget his name. Did a lot of great stuff for sound effects. Did I tell the story on this about the editing of Star Wars? How it was saved by the editing?
I don't know.
I don't know if I told this. I'm going to tell us right now, because this is relevant. When Star Wars was first shown, George Lucas, like, first people he showed it to was Steven Spielberg and another big director of the time who was a friend of his. bunch of those directors, they were all friends with each other, he and Spielberg especially. And he showed it to them, they were both like, this movie is utter garbage. We don't get it at all. The story makes no sense. It's just, we don't like it. It's horrible. So then George Lucas went back to the cutting room. More accurately, his wife went back to the cutting room with a couple other people who were editors. And pretty much rearranged most of the movie, cut out a bunch of the superfluous scenes, made the movie flow much better. Like in the original scene, it's like Tantive 4, stormtroopers bust onto the Tantive 4, they're shooting, and then you cut to Luke on the planet doing nothing. Working on some moisture farming equipment. Now, in one thing is this scene does give us our first glimpse of Biggs, which I feel like should have been included in some way, but it didn't fit. And then, Luke does his thing, cut back to the ship, and pew pew pew, and then all of a sudden cut back to Luke, and there's nothing going on, and he's just with his friends, and just like the action is broken up. And that was one thing I didn't like. And
I wouldn't have liked that either.
Apparently, the original crawl was like much longer, like, excessively long.
Like, no one wants to read for that long.
Yes. Fun fact, actually, I always said that the word Sith... Okay, the word Sith Lord, as we know it, the word Sith does not appear in the original trilogy. And it's purely a prequel thing. However, in the original crawl for A New Hope, it did say the words Dark Lords of the Sith. So the word Sith did not come around as a result of the prequels. It was something that George Lucas had from the original script. So Star Wars then... It was well edited. I mean, I definitely agree. It's well edited. The story flows very well. I mean, even though George Lucas has done some things to it in recent years people aren't a fan of. But,
like digitalizing everything?
Yeah, all that stuff people don't like.
Although I didn't mind digital Yoda.
Well, that was A New Hope. Or that was Phantom Menace, and that's something completely different.
Oh,
I'm talking about the original. I'm talking about the original trilogy. Yeah, the original
gotcha,
trilogy entirely. But it's one of those things that... So the editing saved Star Wars, and it won an Academy Award because of it, because it was so well edited. His wife got an Oscar for it.
Woo!
Original score, of course, John Williams. He's won so many Oscars, he probably doesn't even care anymore.
Nope. He probably just has them in a storage shed somewhere.
Yeah, they're just in a box gathering dust. Because he's won... How many Oscars has the man freaking won? I mean, he's great. Now, right here, April 4th, 1976, the fabled Anchorhead scene showing Luke with his buddy Biggs on Tatooine are shot and subsequently cut from the final film. I think actually that's next Thursday, so I got a little ahead, but I actually am kind of I'm upset that somehow they didn't find a way to work that into the final cut, because it could have done a lot for the character of Biggs, who, in the original cut, Biggs was not in it at all. Except he blows up. Like, you see him in the space at Yavin 4, but you have no clue who he is.
You're just, okay, random guy just got
blown up.
And then
Luke's slightly distressed when he dies. He should look more... he looks slightly distressed when he dies, so everyone's like, okay, why is Luke upset? And then in the special edition, they included the scene with Biggs in Yavin 4.
Yeah.
So that's something. And that's all I got for this day, or this week in Star Wars. Big stuff, actually. Some really big stuff.
Alright, so... Lord of the Rings, I'll just kind of sum things up. Basically, Battle of Pelennor is over. Some of the fellowships reunited. Aragorn musters people from Gondor and Rohan to march on the Black Gate. Merry, Faramir, and Éowyn are in the Houses of Healing. And in this time, Éowyn and Faramir meet often in, it says here, in the gardens facing east, in the House of Healing, and during their time they fall in love and all that fun stuff. And in the book, they're actually, I think, probably my favorite couple. I know they're like really the only couple mentioned in the book, just because Aragorn and Arwen don't get a whole lot.
They get a little bit. Real quick. Wait.
That's
Sorry.
funny.
Showing a Clone Wars meme.
Meme.
Clone Wars
Meme
memes
time.
are really funny. They're like the best memes.
Anyway, I found this really interesting. Last Friday on March 22nd, it says, it says anniversary of Beren and Luthien, but then when I open it up, it says celebrating the marriage of Edith Bratt and J.R.R. Tolkien. So when they say Beren and Luthien, they're actually talking about Tolkien and his wife.
Well, they could have been married on the same day in actual lore history.
Maybe.
Just
it says 1916.
It's probably very likely that it's still the same.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them to have done that, really.
I
And then apparently it takes like a week for Aragorn and the armies of Gondor and Rohan to actually get to the Black Gate, so that takes up a little bit of time here. Then let's see, Monday, March 25th. Basically, the downfall of Barad-dûr, so like the Battle of the Black Gate. Frodo destroys the ring. And also, you know, death of Gollum, all that stuff. Gondor proclaims their new year after the fall of Sauron. Which, actually, I saw something for that on Facebook. A friend of mine shared Happy Gondorian New Year on Monday. Which also, March 25th is also known as Tolkien Reading Day. To be perfectly honest, it says, launched in 2003 by the Tolkien Society, this annual event is a celebration of J.R.R. Tolkien's works. Okay. For a while I kept wondering why specifically, or like, why do we have a Tolkien Reading Day? But I guess it came from the Tolkien Society. Let's see. So I guess in all of this is in the year 3019 of the Third Age. 3020, it says Frodo comes home, and then a year later is also the birth of Eleanor, daughter of Samwise, who in the movie was played by Sean Astin's real-life daughter, who is adorable in the movie, and now she's, like, drop-dead gorgeous. So I think she's probably, like, what, in her 20s, maybe?
Something like that.
She might even be a teenager. I don't know how old she is. Then just a couple other things. Minas Tirith is recovering after all the battles and stuff. And let's see. Actually today it says Celeborn crosses the Anduin and the destruction of Dol Guldur begins.
Dol Guldur. But the old fortress, we've covered this.
Yep, we have. And then skipping to Saturday, during the events of The Hobbit, Bilbo and Gandalf rest at Beorn's home. This is probably when he's returning back to the Shire after the events that happened at Erebor. And actually, after Saturday, the only things that happen are Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, actually, of next week. So I can cover that next time. So I know that kind of just was more of a sum up than everything, but that's because there's 3 books worth of things that goes on, so that's a lot to talk about. So anyway, that's all I've got. So, our topic mostly for today is actually going to be on the actor Zachary Levi.
We haven't done any of our...
I know, I'm getting there. We're going to be talking about Zachary Levi and like the movie Shazam and some of the other stuff that he's done.
We saw the movie.
We do have a
early
review.
showing. This wasn't exclusive to us, but hey,
No.
we got to see it, so we feel important. We feel like we're the ones who come to first to know this stuff.
Yep. So we have a review of that as well, but before we get there, we do have some things in media news that we want to cover from mostly this week, but there's a couple things from last week also. So first of all, probably the biggest thing that happened was this week or last week?
It was last week.
Last week was the Disney Fox deal, where
It's
basically,
finalized.
Disney now owns Fox.
Do they own Fox? Or just their assets?
I don't.
They probably
know.
own Fox.
They probably do. Disney owns the world. Let's face it.
I'm convinced they own the White House. Like, I'm convinced whenever a new president comes in, I don't care who you are, Trump, Obama, you come in and there's the CEO of Disney flanked by Mickey Mouse and Goofy sitting in your chair, stroking a cat, you know.
They're stroking Goose.
Yeah, Goose the cat.
You've seen what this cat can do.
Exactly. They're sitting in your chair like, I own you. This house is really... This is the House of Mouse.
Oh, snap.
This ain't the White House. This is the House of Mouse.
Yeah, this ain't the White House.
But
no
yeah,
more,
so now X-Men, Fantastic Four. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. They are coming home.
Yeah, they confirmed, I think, probably, either 2020 or
now,
2021.
To see the MCU do the Fantastic Four, I'm excited for it. Because there's not a character in the world that Marvel Cinematic Universe has not done better.
Nope.
I say suck it to all of the Tobey Maguire fans out there. Andrew Garfield has some pretty cool scenes as Spider-Man. I wasn't a fan of his. I like Tom Holland a lot.
Tom Holland's the best.
Really, really big fan of Tom Holland because he's an amazing actor. Fantastic Four movies have always sucked. Like, everyone unanimously agrees Fantastic Four movies are just garbage.
Yep.
The originals were boring. I never saw the new one because I heard all the crap reviews. I was really excited for them. Like, it looks kind of cool.
I wanted to see it, but
And
then
then
I heard
everyone
it
was like,
did worse. I'm like, okay,
everyone's
nope,
like,
I'm good.
nope, this movie sucks. So
like,
to see
okay,
the
nope, I'm
MCU
good.
do it, people are saying fans want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt to play Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
I wouldn't mind that.
She should get a new name. Invisible Woman's very on the nose. Like,
Oh, yeah.
everyone else: Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman.
So boring. Come on.
Yeah, and so
Even like Human Torch sounds cool.
That sounds cool. It's like Invisible Woman's very on the nose. Like, she needs a new one. But yeah, to see. Now then again, MCU's not perfect. I heard the Inhumans was utter garbage.
Oh yeah.
So garbage that they blurted them out of existence. They literally said this is no longer part of the canon. Like, we got rid of it entirely.
Oh yeah. I
That's
heard.
the one
I heard that
blemish.
did absolutely terrible.
But that's television. Okay, Marvel does better movies than it does television. Let's just put that out
Agents
there.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still
Agents
doing
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
pretty
is good, but the rest are... Well, then again, so was Daredevil. But that was more of a Netflix team.
I really don't count any of the Netflix stuff.
They're still technically MCU. Why the freak they haven't been referenced in any way, shape, or form is beyond me, but they are still technically MCU. But yeah, there's that. The one thing I don't like about this deal is the potential to lose all of our best actors from the X-Men. Honestly, because Hugh Jackman is pretty much just done as Wolverine, I don't want to see Wolverine.
No, I don't.
The problem is he's a staple of the X-Men.
Yeah.
So, like, having the X-Men without Wolverine, especially because the best movies have been Wolverine's movies. The first one, X-Men Origins, people didn't like. But the Wolverine is pretty good, and Logan, I haven't met a soul that didn't love Logan. Haven't seen Logan.
But that thing is, like, having X-Men without Wolverine is like having Avengers without Iron Man.
Except, actually, Wolverine's not technically the leader of the X-Men. Well, then again,
Well, no,
Captain
but I'm just
America's
saying
leader
he's a very stable character.
Yeah, he is. He's a stable character. It's one of those that it'd be sad to not see him, but I can't accept anybody but Hugh Jackman as Wolverine unless they get a new guy who can just blow us away as Wolverine.
I say they better be one heck of an actor because
those are some big shoes to fill. Those are some big adamantium shoes to fill.
No kidding.
And then, like, honestly,
and I've seen Hugh Jackman dance. You really got shoes to fill.
yeah, but Wolverine don't dance.
No, I know. I'm just saying those shoes.
There are two people in the universe: those who dance, and those who do not.
No, I'm just
Jack's
saying the shoes that Hugh Jackman wears are like freaking talented shoes.
They are very talented shoes. He's a very amazing actor. And then the shoes of James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender / Patrick Stewart, and Ian McKellen. You can't.
No.
No. Like, given the timeline, it would probably be old Xavier and Magneto, and I will not accept anyone less than Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. If they can bring them back, I'd be okay with it. If they got nobody else back, I'd be okay with just those two.
The question is, do they want to come back?
I would hope. I really want them to.
I was gonna say
Because
Ian
honestly,
McKellen complained about not being in Logan, so it's like if you give him a chance to come back, I'm sure he'll
Patrick
take
Stewart
it.
was in Logan. I didn't know that, but I found out when I got home that he was in
Yeah,
Logan.
he was, and then
and he
he's
died.
like, he's like, leave this one out of his childhood franchise. It's time you died.
Exactly. But
Could
it's
you
like-
not do another one? Like he wants to be back in.
Exactly. So
in
let's just
X-Men.
assume that they want to come back, like, because honestly, they're great friends. I'm sure they'd love to just be in the same room together again as Xavier and Magneto. But also because the Xavier and Magneto relationship, like, is honestly, even though the movies are kind of crap, like, I'm not a big fan of the original X-Men movies or even of some of the newer ones.
Just keep going.
Anyway, so, but their relationship is great, like, and especially the way they do it. This, like, frenemy relationship where, you know, they play chess together. Like, in every movie, you know, whenever the bad guy and the good guy are in the same room together, you know, they gotta hate each other. They gotta fight. When Xavier and Magneto are in a room, even when they're still enemies, even when they might be actively plotting against each other, they're still like friends.
They're still playing chess together.
They still play chess. It's like, they do that. And even Fassbender and McAvoy managed to encapsulate that in the new X-Men movies. With, like, this mutual understanding of where the other person is coming from, in what they believe, and why they act the way they act. And this friendship, this really deep friendship. Now, granted, Magneto in the new ones is more of a hero, because he'll do something evil, but then he'll turn around and do something more heroic because there's a bigger evil dude, except kind of in Days of Future Past. He was still mostly evil in that one. But in Apocalypse, he went from being a bad guy to then being on the side of the X-Men before leaving again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still one of those that it's just like, I just love that difference of relationship between, he's not the main hero, but he's one of the heroes and the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so refreshing. And again, with Patrick and McKellen and their rapport with each other, and just the way they play the characters, is just so awesome that I don't really accept anybody else as the old versions. McAvoy and Fassbender as the young versions, they're just so good together. Like, the way they perform is just amazing. Like, honestly, Fassbender and McAvoy are like Hemsworth and Hiddleston in the second Thor movie. In the first Thor movie, too. In every Thor movie, every best scene involves Thor and Loki. Like, the first Thor movie's not bad. It's good. But every best scene involves him and Loki. And in Thor 2, that movie's just meh. That movie's completely forgettable. Every best scene is between Thor and Loki. Like, when they go to the Dark World, like, when they first go to the Dark World, that scene's funny. But when they get there, the actual most emotional, like, and most real scene in the movie is the scene where they're discussing Frigga's death.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good stuff.
That was a powerful scene, actually.
Same with McAvoy and Fassbender. Like, that's honestly, I feel like they're the best part. They're the strongest part of the new X-Men movies. And honestly, looking at this new one, I don't feel like they're putting forth any effort at all into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mystique's makeup looked like they gave up halfway through the process. The outfits are just bland and boring and look low budget, whereas at the end of Apocalypse, they had these super awesome, really personalized outfits that looked incredible. They were like, wow, this is legit looking, and then they just got rid of them.
I know.
It's like, weird. Where did those go? You could argue they're more comic accurate, but they don't even look cool in a comic accurate way.
No.
Like, Shazam's outfit looks cool in a comic accurate way. It's just like I'm excited to see the X-Men and the Fantastic Four come home. Because, you know, that would just be pretty cool to see. And, of course, the Avengers are in. Honestly, I don't know what the future of the Avengers holds. Like, are they going to keep making Avengers movies with an all-new cast of Avengers? Are they going to stop making Avengers movies and go on to new team-ups like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men?
I know, it makes you curious.
I mean, the X-Men will automatically be more of a team-up movie, but, you know, are they going to, you know, not be solely Avengers anymore? Because we don't really know what the future of the MCU really holds. It's kind of scary to think about. Like,
you know, after Endgame, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think we're getting an MCU movie next year. I honestly think we don't. I think we're.
Well, no, there's still some that.
Yes, but have they been started filming? Like, Doctor Strange might have just started filming. It's not gonna be ready by that point. I've heard it said that actually they've confirmed that, like, after Homecoming, it's gonna be a decent chunk of time before we get another MCU film.
I don't like that.
I don't know either. But especially after...
They've spoiled us with having so many MCU movies in, like, the span of a year.
Like, 2 or 3 a year for the last 3 years.
I would say, like, literally last year it was, like Black Panther and then Infinity War, like, right after it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And this year it's Captain Marvel, which I see. She's up there. And she's a bobblehead.
Oh, yeah, the Marvel ones are bobbleheads because Thor's the same way, and also Baku and Shuri. Yeah, we're looking at my pop collection. I just got a Captain Marvel pop doll that I actually won online, which made me really happy. Oh, dear.
Oh,
Microphone knocked down. Her head's a little tilted upward, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it makes her look a little odd.
Yeah, Marvel's tilted up, and Shuri's tilted down. It bugs the ever-living heck out of me. Anyway, back to this.
So that's big news. It's very big news. They're coming home.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
They're coming home, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with them. Because I bet they're going to be great. I hope they're going to be great. I want to like the Fantastic Four. I really do.
I want to give MCU the benefit of the doubt. Like, let's make Fantastic Four a lot better.
I don't know. Not anymore.
And I'm like, come on, don't let us down. You haven't let us down yet.
Not after Ant-Man. Actually, for me, not after Guardians. After Guardians, I didn't doubt anymore.
Yep, pretty much.
Ant-Man, I knew was going to be great. I'm like, it looks funny. It's Ant-Man. I didn't
realize. Guardians, I doubted. Ant-Man, I really doubted because I'm like, how could Ant-Man be cool?
Ant-Man's not cool. He's hilarious.
Well, no, he is cool.
No, he's not.
Yes,
he's hilarious.
He's cool.
Paul Rudd.
He's cool and
Paul
hilarious.
Rudd is not cool. Paul Rudd is.
Are you kidding
He's got
me? Paul Rudd's totally
boyish
cool.
charm. Like, that's what he is. He's not
but
cool.
He's totally cool.
He's not cool in a good way.
Okay, if you say so.
Honestly, I didn't understand how perfect Paul Rudd was for Scott Lang until I actually knew who Paul Rudd really was.
I freaking love Paul Rudd. I love him so much.
He's amazing. He was perfect. He's born for that role.
Moving on with the media news.
Yeah, sorry. Took a look.
No, it's alright. It was actually, within the last couple of days, it was announced that they're making a Gollum video game.
Yeah, I don't know how the heck that's gonna work.
Yeah,
Here we go for media news. Sorry to sidetrack you. The Dora the Explorer movie trailer got dropped.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I didn't actually watch that because I was kind of
I didn't either because I don't care, but it's news.
Yeah, I really have no idea what to think of that at all. Anyway, yeah, there's it's a German game developer called Daedalic Entertainment. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Daedalic?
Yeah, you're probably right. Daedalic. Yeah, it says it's a prequel game that charts the fallen Smeagol's journey after acquiring and becoming slowly enthralled by the One Ring before he encounters either Bilbo or Frodo in Tolkien's iconic novels.
I don't know how that game could honestly be interesting.
I know. I don't know how that could be fun, and it's not the Gollum we know from the movies.
Therefore, it's not.
It's not worth it. Yeah, no, they have the rights to the books, but not the movies, so we're not getting the Andy Serkis or Liam O'Brien version of Gollum, which, as we said, it's already not worth it.
It's not worth it, honestly. Gollum.
It's probably going to be as lame as, like, the cartoon Gollum.
I know, it's like...
So, I mean, I don't know how to feel
I don't
about
accept
that.
anything less. I don't accept anything less than Andy Serkis or Liam O'Brien. I used to not accept anything less than Andy Serkis, but then Liam O'Brien did an amazing job.
Then you discovered Liam O'Brien.
And I thought it was Andy Serkis. I legit did. I was like, is that Andy Serkis? And I'm like, no, it's this other white dude. I was about to say it's this white dude, but Andy Serkis is one of the whitest dudes there is. So
you know what I want to do is I want to find a clip of Sean Connery and play him next to each other. Because he also does an incredible Sean Connery.
I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's coming out in 2021, but I'm just gonna say right now, I don't think I'm gonna play it. I don't know. I honestly, unless they have like a game trailer for it that looks absolutely incredible and somehow,
it's actually
convinces me. Yeah, if it somehow convinces me it's actually good, maybe. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. So that's something. Sad news, mostly for me and for Paul. Austin isn't really into this. But Supernatural actually just announced that season 15, their upcoming season, is going to be their last. Which makes me very sad because this is one of those shows I thought will just never die.
Every show needs to die.
Then why is The Simpsons still going?
Because they refuse to let it die.
Well, it's the same with Supernatural.
Everyone agrees that Simpsons needs to just die now. But the makers refuse to let it be.
I don't know how that show is still going. I'd rather that show end than Supernatural. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. No, but I've seen bits of The Simpsons, and I'm like, why that show is still around. Anyway, yeah, Supernatural after 15 years and after 15 seasons will be finishing, which breaks my heart, and I'm gonna be really sad to see those guys go. Also, the show Elementary is it announced, I think yesterday actually, that it's coming up on its 7th season, which will also be the final season. Apparently, this is just the year for a lot of shows and franchises ending. Because Supernatural's ending, that's a big one for a lot of people. Elementary's ending. We don't watch the show, but Game of Thrones is on its final season this year. I know there's other shows out there, I just can't think of any of them right now, just because those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. And Endgame, is basically the end of, we don't know how many people, supposedly. Which, speaking of Endgame, there were some really cool posters that were released.
Lots of posters.
Which, I do have to tell a story. The day they came out, one of my news apps, I think it was probably just like Google News or something, came up with a notification saying, Endgame posters revealed, and it only had some of them, but I didn't know that, that there were more. So I saw that there were a bunch of characters missing, especially like Spider-Man was missing, Thor and Hawkeye and a couple other people. And I saw like there was Valkyrie and Happy on there, and I was like, how do we get Valkyrie and Happy, but they leave out Spider-Man and Thor and like all these other people? I was about to throw a fit. But then I got on Facebook, and someone else I saw had shared a post from Marvel that had all of the posters. And I was like, okay, they didn't forget everybody. Apparently Google just forgot everybody. And I was very sated. I'll include at least probably some of the posters, or maybe I can find a version that has like all of them condensed, and we'll put that on the podcast. So if you haven't seen them, you can look on the video and see them. And also today there was the official international poster that was released in China, which also looks really cool. It involves everyone that is alive and also those who were snapped and or killed by Thanos.
On the bottom.
Which actually looks really cool, and I'll include that one also eventually in the video. So that's really cool.
Shuri's dead. Morgan doesn't believe it, but she's dead. She's been confirmed twice now. She still doesn't think it's real.
I'm in denial. We didn't see Shuri get snapped. I don't believe it.
Your denial is useless in this moment.
Nope. I didn't see it happen. It didn't happen.
She's
nope.
dead. It's confirmed.
Nope. Paul, back me up on this.
She's dead.
Back me up, Paul.
She's dead.
I'm your wife. Back me up.
As your husband.
He can't let you do this.
I can't let you be in denial.
Okay, we're gonna have a talk later.
Shuri's dead.
You're supposed to support me! She's not dead. Anyway, moving on. This was also just announced. There's a Princess Bride musical in the works. And this is legit. I don't know how I feel about this.
It's the same picture.
It is. Sorry, Austin's looking at memes while we're talking and showing me.
Still paying attention.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a Princess Bride musical coming out. I'm not sure how I feel.
I do not.
Cause I mean, I like musicals, but sometimes I'm like, certain things just don't. That's like also the thing now. Apart from making live actions of like every animated movie, they're also making things into musicals, and I'm kind of like, why is that a thing now? Why does everything need to be a musical? We have Shrek the musical. Why did Shrek have to be made into a musical? Wasn't Smash Mouth enough?
It's apparently very funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's the thing. And Princess Bride is one of those movies where we've often said they better not remake this.
It's not a remake. It's
No. Let me get to my point. I'm saying this is a movie where you said they better not touch this. Don't remake this. Because it's perfection. It's a classic. You don't touch classics. But it's like, even though they're essentially not remaking it, they're still changing it to where there's music, and it's, again, still not the same people. So it's kind of like, they're still in a way remaking it, but it's for Broadway. Like, it's not going to be a movie musical, it's for Broadway. I'm still kind of like, I'm fine with them making a Greatest Showman Broadway musical, because that is already a musical. However, it's still not the same without Hugh Jackman. But what are your thoughts on this? You're being quiet.
On the Princess Bride musical?
Yeah.
I don't think we need it unless the music is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, say they better have a good score. They better have a good score.
Yeah, but it just...
But I know some of the people...
The only remake we would accept is the Muppet version.
Yeah, if they made a Muppet version,
but
like Muppet's
Wizard
of Oz.
Exactly the same script, adapted in some places for Muppety stuff. Same exact script, everything word for word, same movie, but with Muppets. Because you can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe
like Muppet's Wizard of Oz.
Exactly.
If you haven't seen that movie, then you haven't lived.
One actual human character in the cast, you know?
Not true.
Well, they have two in that one.
No, they have three.
Okay, outside of Oz...
are you talking in Oz?
Or in Oz, excuse me, they have two. They've got Ashanti and the Wizard.
Oh, yeah, but then they have Queen Latifah and David Allen Greer.
Yes, outside of Oz, though. Inside of the, we could have the grandpa, we could have the grandpa and the kid be real, but then inside the book, it's all Muppets, except maybe one.
Bring in Fred Savage.
Yeah, have Fred Savage be the dad, man. How about a dad this time? And it's Fred Savage talking to his son.
No,
Why not?
No, I meant him still be the kid.
They did that for the
Deadpool
Deadpool trailer, exactly. He's like, you're Fred Savage.
You're Fred Savage.
I hate Deadpool, but honestly, the trailers for his movies are dadgum hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
The marketing campaign for his movies is dadgum hilarious. Like, I don't like Deadpool. I don't like his existence at all. But, which I do think we can rest assured that we will not be getting a Deadpool MCU movie.
They better
because
not. They better
Marvel
not.
knows its fan base is largely family-based.
Deadpool is not a family-friendly character.
No, it's not. I know there's plenty of teenage boys who see the movie, but it's also one of those that...
Unless it's a PG-13 version.
You can't have a movie that's pivotal. So here's the thing. If they were to do a movie of Deadpool that's just like the other Deadpool movies, and it was as pivotal to the MCU as every other movie, then there'd be a lot of people who missed out on it. Because there's probably plenty who don't want to go see it. There's plenty that do, of course, but there's plenty that don't.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but if they did one that was like, okay, this one's, it's important to the story of the MCU, so we're just going to make a PG-13, then you make all those fans of Deadpool extremely upset, because that's not Deadpool. Honestly, best of both is just not do him. If you keep doing Deadpool movies on like his own little separate universe, that's fine with me, but you can't really include him in the MCU, I don't think, unless they find a very good, solid way of doing it. I mean, there's honestly...
And they keep him...
Honestly, people think the post-credit
mellow.
scene... Honestly, people think the post-credit scene for Avengers 4 could be a Deadpool showing up at the last minute.
If it is, I'm leaving. I will walk out of an MCU
movie. Well, no, just
movie.
like him showing up late to the fight, like Thanos is dead, and he's like, oh, I missed, the merger took too long. I'm like, okay, that's funny. I don't think that'll fit the tone of the movie whatsoever, but...
No, I do not want the existence of Deadpool in any MCU movie at all. I don't care how funny it is. I will walk out if I see Deadpool.
Well, that's the post-credit scene you're gonna walk
no,
out anyway.
You know what I mean. I'll walk out before it's over.
The scene will probably take 10 seconds.
No, and I've seen people say, like, oh, now that Disney and Fox have merged together, we'll get Deadpool. I'm like, no, we better not.
I highly doubt that, Sorry.
You might need to put the phone away.
I just got confused by something. But yeah, there's a good chance I don't think they'll be able to work him in without upsetting many, many people.
Yeah.
Without either upsetting the fans who just don't like Deadpool or upsetting the Deadpool fans. Like, I honestly think there's no way. Unless they do. Marvel surprised us before.
I don't want Deadpool, I'm just saying that.
Yeah. There's no way they could work him in with the rest of the MCU and make it work the way that Deadpool's supposed to work, so I doubt he's going to be able to fit.
How do we get from Princess Bride musical to talking about Deadpool?
Because we're talking about Fred Savage.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yes, Princess Bride musical. I'm not a fan of the idea.
Yeah,
Princess Bride
I literally have no
like
idea.
Lord of the Rings. You don't touch it. You don't remake it.
Well, it's like some of the original cast, at least there's one I can only think of. I mean,
they're all old now.
Well, yeah, they're old. Mandy Patinkin can sing, though. We heard him in
can.
Elmo and Grouchland.
Again, didn't know
I
that was
said
the
I'll
same
make
dude for
it
years.
mine.
Didn't know that was the same dude for years.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, if you haven't seen Elmo and Grouchland, I don't care how old you are. That's a fun movie.
It's an old classic.
Heck, I watched it like a couple of years ago for like no reason. And I was like,
You know what's
I forgot
classic?
I love this movie.
Buzz Lightyear, Star Command. That's
That movie never gets old. Dude, we need to get together and watch that movie sometime.
And The Emperor's New Groove. It's been forever since I watched that.
Yes, we need.
Love that flick.
Which there was a meme I saw that said, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall like no one ever has. And there's a picture of Cusco down below,
The movie's
Xing
about
out
me,
Paw
not
Pacha.
him.
And I'm like,
Sorry.
say what again? Cusco did it long before Deadpool.
Cusco is the master.
And even said, like, how dare you? And then it
Still
showed
learning from the master. Yes, Cusco is the master.
Yep. A couple other quick things before we get to our topic. Mark Hamill apparently is rumored to be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Oh, that's another thing that we missed from last week. They've rehired James Gunn.
Yes, James Gunn is back.
After that whole debacle with him and getting fired and all the stuff that he said on Twitter a long time ago. Yeah, they've rehired him, so that's interesting. But it
was one of those, they didn't look for anybody else. They just worked as hard as they could to get him back.
Yeah, they literally admitted they didn't look for anybody else after they fired him.
Not really sure how I feel about that.
I don't know either.
I mean, honestly, he did, like, we didn't watch Deadpool 2. Watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 recently. We're doing our Marvel-a-thon. And I didn't like it at first because its soundtrack is just not what it should be.
No.
But it's still, in terms of like cinematography and direction, it's actually a very different movie from most MCU movies. Like, it's more artistic. In the way the camera moves and the cinematography, and a lot of it is a very different, very unique film to the MCU, and I gotta give it to James Gunn. He's a good director.
And apart from that whole situation with him, part of me is like, I'm glad he's back, because then for one, we know that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is gonna happen.
Dave Bautista can shut up.
Yeah, Dave Bautista can now come back, because he swore, I will not do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 if he is not the director.
Well, yeah, never mind.
Well, and then just because there hadn't been, well, obviously now we know they didn't look, but it was like, there was no sign of another director, so it's like, are we not going to get Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
We wanted Taika. We didn't get Taika. Hopefully we'll get Taika for something else.
It's like, I may not be fond of what James Gunn did, but I'm just glad Dunn said same thing.
He said some very, very not great things. I believe in second chances, and those were said a very long time ago, but it's still one of those I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it.
I'm just glad it just means that we now get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But anyway, it is rumored that Mark Hamill will be in the movie. He hasn't confirmed if it's true or not, but supposedly he might be playing Rocket's creator, which should be very interesting.
I just love to see...
Does that essentially mean we'll get Mark Hamill as a mad scientist?
Yes, we will. And he'll be perfect at it. He'll probably just sound like Joker, though.
Yeah, see, will he go like Joker/trickster mode, kind of?
Probably.
That'll be interesting.
Like, I saw a clip from his new show, Nightfall. He kind of sounds like a British Joker.
That I think should be interesting. So once we finally, find out if it's true or not, we'll be sure to mention that.
But yeah,
I hope it's true.
That'd be funny though, because Luke Skywalker being Guardians of the Galaxy, and we know Star-Lord knows who Luke Skywalker is.
Will he be yet another Star Wars actor that's been in Star Wars and MCU?
Yeah, just another one.
Well, there's Samuel L.
Okay, that's one.
Andy Serkis.
Yes, exactly.
He's been in the three biggies.
Yes,
Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and in MCU. He's dead in all of them, yeah.
And I don't want him to be dead like Snoke's death. I was fine with in Last Jedi. I was not fine with Claw's death. I was not okay with that. I wanted more Claw.
I feel like there's somebody else I'm missing. I just don't want to take the time to think about it. And then, really quick, our last one, also from last week, Toy Story 4 official trailer dropped.
Yes, first full trailer.
Which, even though I keep thinking we very well could have ended well on Toy Story 3, this one does look kind of fun.
Look like it could have some promise.
I'm just looking forward to Key and Peele as those two carnival animals.
No, was that them? I didn't.
You didn't know that was them?
I only watched the trailer once and I've forgotten most of it.
Okay, well then I need to show you another one where you hear them a lot better and it's super funny.
Except for the fact that Bo Peep is Rambo, apparently.
Yeah, Bo Peep looks like a total boss. So I think looks fun, looks interesting.
It looks like it's a more philosophical take on Toy Story. Like, the purpose, like every movie kind of talks about the purpose of a toy. I feel like this movie's going more into that.
I think so. But yeah, this, I guess, is the official, and no Toy Story. I know I've mentioned before, but Tom Hanks said he cried.
Very emotional.
Which I'm like, I hate hearing that, because it's like, if the actors are crying, I know I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I cried at Toy Story 3.
I'm going to wait for the reviews. I'm going to go see this movie anyway. Probably
we're still going to go see it.
Probably not in main theaters for it, but it's one of those that... I gotta see this through to the end. I'm committed. Close to 20 years of commitment here.
Toy Story's been in our life since we were children.
But have you seen... Remember what Andy looked like in that first one? Mm-hmm. The animation is, horrifying.
Yeah, a little bit.
People have shown the animation of, through the years from Toy Story 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 of young Andy, and it's like, the freak, man. Toy Story 1 Andy is horrifying.
He was horrifying.
His head is all wrong, and, the new... It's like...
See, remember Sid, though?
Sid, oh, Jesus.
Sid was an ugly child.
My favorite part of Toy Story 3 is that the voice of Andy's the same kid.
I know, they waited for him to actually, get older, college age, and it's like, okay, now come back college
Which
Andy.
makes you wonder, did they have that script the whole time and we'll wait? Or did they just can we do a Toy Story 3? Where Andy's at college? Yeah, kids that age.
The kids that grew up with Toy Story will be this age. Exactly. They'll relate.
But I was because I remember when that came out, I was like, is that the same kid? And it's the same guy. Same kid, which I think is more authentic. It's like it's still Andy. Like you could easily just get a new guy. No one would know, but it's still the same kid, which makes it just a little more authentic. Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound a thing like him, but it's still the same kid.
Well, of course not. Well, yeah, and then of course, like we were, college age or close to college age kids, and that happened, and then I ran upstairs and hugged all my toys. I was bawling like a baby.
It was a sad film. So I just how could this movie possibly top that? Because Toy Story 3 was a phenomenal film.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a great way to end, but I guess we'll see where this goes.
I thought otherwise. Anyway, on to our topic.
Well, first let's do this will be a spoiler-free review.
Well, yeah, I figured that was going to be the start of the topic. Spoiler-free review of Shazam.
Because we'll wait till Shazam is actually officially out, and then we'll give our more spoiler-filled...
Fandango did... I think they do this with most MCU, apparently with DC films, is that they'll do a pre-showing, like kind of a month early showing, or not month, a couple weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks early showing of the film to limited audiences. You buy your ticket and they let you go. So we did. This one made more money than Aquaman did in its first pre-showing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my pipe out again.
See, I know we've expressed many times we are not DC fans, but for one, when we saw the trailer for Shazam, for one, just seeing it was Zachary Levi made me excited.
We're big fans.
But it looked so funny. I'm like, DC normally does not do funny.
Yeah. See, I want to like DC. Honestly, I want to. Not like I'm just watching their movies trying to like it, but I mean, when I was a kid, everyone knew who Batman and Superman were. Like, you just knew that. Even if you didn't watch the cartoons, if you didn't read the comics, if you didn't do anything, you knew.
You knew who
Batman
they were.
and Superman were. You saw them, like, in the store. Or you just knew who they were inherently. Like, I've heard from people who don't even watch Star Wars know what Darth Vader's theme is. Mm-hmm. You just know it. It's just one of these things that you know. They're iconic. But these days, Captain America and Iron Man, superheroes I'd never heard of before the MCU, are more iconic than Batman and Superman.
Well, like, remember when the first Iron Man first came out, and Mom and Dad were like, "Do you guys want to see that?" We're like,
"Nah."
No, who's Iron Man?
We were kind of burned out on superhero films, I think, because X-Men weren't that great.
Yeah, no, X-Men wasn't great.
I think we subconsciously knew that the X-Men movies weren't that great.
The Dark Knights weren't out that bad, were they? Or were they?
Batman Begins was out.
Batman Begins was out, okay.
Because Iron Man and Dark Knight were same year.
That's right. Yeah, so it's like, X-Men wasn't great. Not Dark Knight. Batman Begins is like, okay, that's good. I mean, it's just Batman.
Batman Begins was really
Everybody
good,
knows
though.
Batman.
Batman Begins was really good, though.
Then Iron Man were like, who's Iron Man? No, we don't want to see that.
My parents saw it, and they're like, this movie is actually really good. You should see it. And we saw it, and we've been hooked ever since. So thank you, RDJ and Jon Favreau.
Woo!
But yeah, so I want to like DC movies, because they've got some really good stories. I also hate Zack Snyder, because he recently had like a movie showing thing. He's full of himself. He considers the DC characters his characters.
Heck
like,
no.
He thinks, I don't know, I think he's pretentious. So I don't like Zack Snyder.
You realize that Batman's been around for like since, what was it, the 50s?
Well, yeah, but I think he wants his heroes to be anti-heroes. He wants all of his heroes to be anti-heroes. He's like, get out of your stupid fantasy. He didn't say the word stupid. He said, get out of your stupid fantasy world. My heroes wouldn't be that way. I think he wants them all to be anti-heroes. Like, Superman is not an anti-hero. He's Superman.
He's
the bright, shining light of Metropolis. Batman, sure, make him an anti-hero. He can pull that off. Superman does not do that. That's not Superman. That's Batman with red and a cape. That's Batman with a red cape. So anyway, I want to like DC films. They're just not very well done. I have not seen Aquaman, though. Shazam, on the other hand...
They just defied everything DC's done.
Great. Not entirely, though.
Well,
it wasn't just solely a Marvel film, because people are like, it just looks like a Marvel film, which I could see to some DC fans being upsetting, because DC did take a point to try to separate itself from Marvel in a way.
And look where how they're doing with that.
But it's like, but it also did manage to have some darker parts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Thaddeus, the main villain, has some moments that are like, really dark, and like, whoa, my gosh, like, where did that happen?
Oh yeah, a couple of times I literally went, oh my gosh.
This isn't so much of a spoiler, because they were kind of shown in the trailer in statue form, and people know this is generally a thing with Shazam. The 7 Deadly Sins are creepy.
They're terrifying.
Like, they're gross. Like, gross, terrifying, creepy, everything about them is like...
They're the stuff of nightmares.
And they're supposed to be.
I know, that's just it.
Very well done. And... so it was funny, but it still had its DC-like moments where it's like, holy crap, like some more mature type stuff, and we don't want to go into too much spoileries with it, but it's like, dang, this is not a Marvel moment. This is a DC moment.
Yeah,
Like,
then you remember,
dark-
oh yeah, this is a DC film, not Marvel.
whether it's dark, whether it's the Seven Deadly Sins being creepy as all get out, or a more kind of slightly mature themed scene. And I don't mean mature as in like bow chicka bow wow, but
That's one way to
but I mean
describe
more of a
it.
mature theme to it. You know, something that Marvel doesn't really tackle, and I don't want to spoil it.
That'll be a later time.
But when you see the movie, I think you'll understand what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's a very somber scene in the movie. It's kind of one of the major turning points in the movie. It's actually, I think, the major turning point in the film. You know what scene I'm talking about.
I think. Wait, here, whisper it in my ear. What?
Wait, what's the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm signing to her, so you guys don't see it. Yeah, I'm signing to her right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she knows what scene I'm talking about. And it's a very mature scene. Like, Marvel hasn't really done anything like that.
No.
Particularly. And it's a tough scene. Like, it's a tough scene.
It's very tough.
But Zachary Levi is amazing. Honestly, he's perfect.
He was born for this role.
To play a 14-year-old boy playing
being a man. But really, though, he fits Shazam like Paul Rudd fits Ant-Man. He is so funny. He cracks me up.
Oh yeah, he was perfect, and like.
And I wish that Zachary Levi got more like humorous roles. And I'm sure he's got some out there that maybe I don't know about.
He's got a decent chunk. There's a lot we haven't seen him in.
That is true.
But yeah,
what we have seen him in, I love him.
Well, the funny thing about it is like because he's a 15-year-old boy or 14 really.
Basically 15.
Basically 15-year-old boy playing, as an adult man, and Freddie Freeman, pretty much his sidekick, testing his powers and all that. It's just all. It was 14-year-old boy humor. That was not 14-year-old boy humor. Like, it's stuff you definitely see 14-year-olds doing because they're stupid, but it wasn't like Fortnite dances and dabbing. Like, it was actually
At least the
funny.
Fortnite dance was for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he flossed for 2 seconds, and that's it. That wasn't a Fortnite dance. That was pre-Fortnite, but
yeah, but that's what everyone associates with it now.
That's the dances existed before Fortnite, before the conception of Fortnite. But either way, it's one of those. It's like it was still funny. Like, it wasn't like, because I look sometimes at what teenagers laugh at, and I'm like, are you stupid? But it was still funny. Like, it was really funny. The action wasn't, like, amazing, though. I'll say that. The action wasn't fantastic. But after Civil War and Infinity War, it's going to be very hard to top that.
We have very high expectations of action.
Which is why I love the Russos, because they did so much with Winter Soldier in the action scenes. And I was like, how are they going to do it with superpowered people? Because with Winter Soldier, they're all pretty much normal people. Of course, Captain America's super strength. But pretty much just normal people fighting. Like, Captain America can't fly. It's just a fist fight.
Yeah.
But then with Civil War and Infinity War, I'm like, how are they going to do it? Because they got Iron Man and Thor and all these people. And I'm like, this movie...
Thor was not in Civil War.
He was in Infinity War. I was like...
You were saying Civil War, though.
But I also said Infinity War.
Oh.
I was like, how are they going to do it? Because they got superheroes and actual superpowered people, and they did an amazing job with it. So Shazam's action wasn't the great. It was still good though.
It was still pretty good, but yeah, in comparison to the action that we're used to, definitely didn't quite compare.
Yeah, and it also keeps reminding you it's a DC film on very occasions.
I mean, it's a very fun film, very family friendly. It's got a lot of heart to it, a lot of humor,
and a very good twist at the end. I did not see coming.
I didn't either.
Mostly because I didn't know it was a thing, but...
There were some people that thought it was a cheesy twist, but I don't care. I thought it was kind of fun.
I thought it was great. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun to watch.
What would you rate it?
Would I rate Shazam?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'd say a solid 8 out of 10. Maybe 8.5.
Yeah, I'd say 8.5. Maybe a 9 for me, but the 0.5 is mostly just for Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi is.
I don't want to quite say. I don't want to quite say this is a spoiler. But when he first meets the villain, he approaches him and he says, "Oh, you're supposed to be the perfect man and flawless in every way." And I literally said, "That's why he's Zachary Levi."
I know, he's not really spoiler.
He's the perfect man. He's flawless. I mean, have you looked at the guy?
Yeah, and
he's a handsome man.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a very good film. I just really enjoyed it.
I loved it.
It was the first real DC film we've been excited to see since Wonder Woman. I mean,
oh yeah, since Wonder, which we went with our family, and also my in-laws were there. My sister-in-law turned to me and asked me, "So Morgan, who do you like better, Shazam or Wonder Woman?" I'm like, "You can't ask me that." These two movies are on totally different levels. There's different dynamics. It's like, I can't answer that. I didn't actually answer the question. She just took it like that. But I was like, don't make me choose.
Wonder Woman's such a stylistically different movie, though. I still say Wonder Woman's a better film, mostly because it's a really good war film.
Yeah.
Because most films about war are more war glorification, like even Star Wars or even Lord of the Rings. It's more of a glorified.
Wonder Woman actually showed like the darker side, the ugly side.
Yeah.
Of
and
war.
like Saving Private Ryan did, that's acclaimed as a movie that showed more of the ugly side of war.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman saw like people wounded and like bloodied and dying and missing limbs in the mud on the sidelines. She saw women and children who were suffering.
That No Man's Land scene is.
Oh.
That No Man's Land scene alone is already better than Shazam's action sequences. Like Shazam's got good action sequences, but Wonder Woman's is on a very
just that strut that she does down there and just
yeah.
knocking bullets with her gauntlets. Yeah, that's iconic stuff. But yeah, I'm like, don't make me choose. I'll just say Wonder Woman's my favorite woman and Shazam's my favorite man. How about that?
I'm just saying I think Wonder Woman's better. I think it's a better movie.
I think so too. I mean, again, but that's on totally different levels. Shazam though is just, it's super fun. When it comes out and you get a chance to see it, go see it.
Yeah, definitely go see it. I highly recommend.
It's super fun.
It is.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It is in some ways a different film. Like I feel like just the way it was shot and the way it does look differently than in most DC films.
Well, for one, it's not dark.
There's also less.
And I mean dark as in like lighting and everything. Yeah. Like a lot of DC movies just have a darker tone to it.
Yes, I do. Obviously, I say this not as a cynic. It does have a lot less CG effects, and I mean that in the way that like Themyscira and Atlantis are definitely mostly digital locations. Unless I'm wrong, Themyscira could very well be alive, like an actual place that they filmed at.
I'll have to look that up.
It very well could be. But even
I know New Zealand gave us all Middle Earth.
Well, I know
mostly.
that the No Man's Land scene, except for of course the ground she's walking on, there's a blue screen in the background. I know that.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of more real locations in the city of Philadelphia for Shazam. But it just looks different, not just in the way of the tone and everything, but just the way it filmed, of course, and that's just the director's style. I mean.
Oh yeah.
So kudos to that movie for being great.
Like I said, in a couple weeks here, we'll give our spoiler-filled review, just when people have had a chance to see it.
Yeah.
This is our attempt at a spoiler-free.
It was also weird to hear Mark Strong with an American accent.
Very weird.
Because he's the bad guy, but
granted, I think we've said that about every British actor that we like.
It's true. We've
said that about Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman.
Yeah, they just sound unnatural with American accents. Which makes me realize how stupid our accent is.
I know, when we hear British actors doing it, it's kind of like, wow.
Like when you hear
even if they do it right.
If you hear an American actor do a British accent, if it's a good accent, you're like, oh, that's a good accent. That sounds great. Like Robert Downey Jr. I think Robert Downey Jr. is fine.
I think he does a great job as Sherlock.
But sometimes you hear some Americans can't do British accents, and you're like, just stop.
Yeah, not quite.
Then you hear American actors like or British actors like Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Martin Freeman do spot on, and John Boyega do spot on American accents. And so, well, the thing is with John Boyega, at first I didn't know he was British.
I didn't know either. He did it so well.
And then, but with like Benedict Cumberbatch, Martin Freeman, you're like, I mean, I'm fine with
like they're inherently.
I'm fine
British.
with his Doctor Strange voice, but it's still just like
it's a little more nasally, I think, sometimes when he tries to do American.
Thor Odinson.
Yeah.
God of Thunder.
And
he's great. Love Benedict Cumberbatch. Love Doctor Strange. Can't wait for the sequel. Oh, dadgum, it better be in 3D. But yeah, Shazam was great. We recommend it. Go see it. Definitely go see it. Zachary Levi, man. Love that guy. Loved him since we're Tangled. Then we watched Chuck. And
Chuck is a great show.
And he was in Thor 2 and Thor 3 for a grand total of 5 minutes, maybe.
You're talking both of them. I was saying, no, Thor was like
10 seconds for Thor 3 for Ragnarok.
It wasn't even 10; it was like 5.
5 seconds. Did he even get a line?
Nope.
died very
Nope, he
quickly.
didn't. He got like a quick blip when she came in.
And then she
killed
him
him.
in the chest.
I was kind of like, you could have easily just gotten some random dude to just throw on a blonde wig and the armor, and that'd have been fine. Like, you got Zachary Levi for like 5 seconds.
Hey, you know what?
I wonder if maybe he had another part in the...
Continuity.
Maybe. I wonder if maybe he had more in the film originally, but then they said,
Well, you can
no,
argue.
we're
Well,
just
you
gonna
could
mix
argue the
ya.
same for Volstagg. He had just as much. He had a line, but still, it's like you could argue. It's for
That's true.
It's for continuity's sake.
I know.
I mean, it's probably inconvenient to fly
Plus-
out for one scene that you could film very easily, but still.
Yeah, and then they probably didn't want to recast Fandral a third time.
Again. Actually, he was supposed to be the original Fandral,
Oh, really?
but he couldn't do it because of the schedule for Chuck.
Oh, you know what? I
So-
think I did
So
know
then
that.
they got the other guy,
Then they got Prince Charming for Once Upon a Time.
but then he couldn't do the second one
because of Once Upon a Time. And
But then
they got...
Zachary Levi could make it happen, so he came back.
Perhaps next time we should start with the big one.
And then he was in Ragnarok for a whole grand total of 5 seconds before he died, which made me upset because I'm like, don't kill Zachary Levi. He's great.
I liked him as Fandral, even though he wasn't in
For
there very
Asgard.
much. Yeah, for Asgard. I see your time in prison has made you no less graceful, Loki.
It's as if they resent being in prison. I mean, he's got great lines.
I love that. I
If
always
they were
forget
beneath you,
that
my
line.
If they were beneath you, my rotund friend, they'd all be dead.
Yes.
It's just some great, witty. He's a very witty guy.
Well, like, he was perfect as Flynn Rider in Tangled.
Yeah, but then seeing him as Chuck, I was like, dude, who are you? Because in Tangled, you're this great, suave, ladies' man look dude. And then here, you're just this nervous nerd guy who is just hilarious.
Our dad basically said in Shazam he thought he was basically just watching almost a Chuck film.
It very much could be an episode of Chuck.
Yep, that could have been Chuck just dressed as Shazam the whole time.
Well, it was Chuck just...
Well, you know what I mean. But, like, I love Chuck, or he can be a total, like, dorky dweeb sometimes. He also can be, like, very serious and sincere.
Yeah, I mean, some
Especially when it
great
came to
moments.
Sarah.
Of course.
I loved him and Sarah so much.
Yeah, Chuck, a great quality show. Could use better music. Most
It
shows...
started off fine, but then...
Most of the music was saved for Jeffster.
Ugh,
In the
don't
show, too,
talk
they-
about Jeffster.
In the show, too, the characters Jeff and Lester, the creepiest guys on the planet,
Uh-huh.
have a band called Jeffster, and they're like a tribute band to pretty much anything they get their hands on. And they sing songs in the show, but it's you got to admit their performances are great, and
No.
they chose great music for them to play.
They
'Cause
pick great music, but
the
I
rest of the
refuse
show-
to acknowledge
for
that
most
they're
of the
doing-
rest of the show, the music they play like in the background is utter garbage. It's like these C grade bands you've never heard of with garbage music. They saved all their music budget, of course, for the Jeffster scenes because they got to play some.
I'm
Good
like, how did
music.
you start with like Huey Lewis in like the first season, and then you went to stuff
Everything
I
else.
don't even know or care about?
budget, man?
Huh. So not really quick. Who's creepier, Jeff and Lester, or Hitchcock and Scully?
Hitchcock.
You gotta think about it, huh?
Jeff and Lester.
Yep.
Jeff and Lester.
It's like Hitchcock and Scully I can tolerate, but
Because they
there were-
did. Jeff and Lester did more.
Yes, they definitely did a lot more, and there were times I legit went, okay, they're too much. They're too much.
Yeah, they were. But they are funny. I do find them funny.
Oy.
In some instances.
How is it that all of you guys can like the creepy characters, and I'm the only one that feels like I'm the sane one?
Because they have their funny moments. Like, Jeff and Lester. Like, Lester's he's creepy, he's weird. Jeff's odd to the extreme. But their funny moments, and their performances as Jeffster
That's just
are
it.
very
They're too creepy
entertaining.
for me to find a lot of what they do funny.
But their performances are very entertaining. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about
No,
Zachary Levi.
back to the nice looking one.
Back to Zachary Levi, who's also one of those actors who makes sense as this like nerdy dude, probably because he is.
He probably is a giant nerd in real life.
Like the director of Shazam said, the reason they chose Zachary Levi as Shazam is like it's a 14-year-old boy in a man's body. That's literally him.
Yep.
I can imagine also Zachary Levi standing next to the director and just nodding his head. It's like, yeah, he's right. It's like the director's like, that's literally who he is. He's perfect for it, and he was perfect for it.
Which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I totally lost what I was going to say. Never mind. I literally don't know what I was going to say. I had something in my mind. But yeah, he literally is just like, he's a very childlike person. Like, there was a video just before the early showing of Shazam from the Funko page where they released that they have a Shazam pop doll.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a video of him seeing the pop doll, and he went
He's
crazy.
like, I'm a Funko Pop!
He's like, guys, I have a pop! I have a Funko Pop!
Which I Funko.
I will admit, the very first time I watched it, I actually thought he said I have an effing pop, and it took me aback for a sec. I'm like, oh no, Funko.
Mm-hmm. Also, don't mix up Chuck and Funko, by the way. I almost said that one, but very carefully said Chuck Funko.
Yeah, you almost screwed up. This was in front of our mom, too.
That was his dad.
Oh, no, it was Dad.
I told Mom about this later.
That's right.
But Dad was there. I was like...
Yeah, you're like, wait, no. Don't screw up. Don't screw that up. Because
I was stumbling over my words. I'm like, I'm not going to mess these two words up. Yes, we want Funko Pops for Chuck because we deserve it.
What's that animated Star Wars show you watch?
Resistance?
Okay, that's not what it is.
What?
Well, it says, because I'm looking at Zachary Levi's IMDb page right now, and
Star Wars Detours?
Yeah, Detours.
Yeah, that's still a thing. It's coming out. Do you remember that? Long time ago, the Robot Chicken people were going to make a show called Star Wars Detours. It was an animated show.
Not off the top of my head.
It was non-canon Star Wars. But then it got canceled after the whole Disney thing, but now they're bringing it back. Yeah, he plays Han Solo.
In this, it says Biff Tarkin.
Oh, I thought he played Solo in that one.
Maybe not. Or maybe he was, and then not anymore.
But yeah, I saw there was a thing, they're bringing it back, because they said they're putting it on hold for a while. Now they're apparently going to finish it. I hope it's funny.
Oh, and well, can't believe I forgot this. Another role that he's done that we were like was in Psych. Psych the movie. He was the bad guy.
We hoped it was a Chuck crossover. It was not.
Yeah, it was not, sadly.
Psych just needs all of its movies do crossovers with other major like crime-solving shows like Chuck and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He was also in that Heroes reboot that we've never watched.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
But honestly, that's the only reason I wanted to watch it, because I saw Zachary Levi was in it.
Didn't it, like, tank? Like, didn't no one watch it?
I think it did. It was only a mini-series, though, so I don't think it would have lasted long anyway.
Oh, it was designated as a mini? Yeah, we never
Yeah, that's
watched
what it says. It says a mini-series.
Oh.
Only 13 episodes.
Yeah, we never... Well, he was in 13 episodes anyway.
Well, yeah. I'm looking really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. The show actually had 13 episodes, so he was in every one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like, that was... I wanted to watch it because we watched the original show, Heroes, which was a really good show, by the way. So sad that it got canceled. And so I was like, okay, it's a reboot of Heroes, I'm curious, and I saw Zachary Levi was in it, and I was like, okay, well, now I really want to see it. Because I just really like him.
Yeah, we like Zachary Levi, he's great, we love Chuck, we love Flynn Rider.
Yeah.
What's not to love? He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. He's a good actor.
Admittedly, there's this Hallmark movie that he's in that I'm kind of curious about.
It's a Hallmark movie. It's the same.
But I love Hallmark movies.
They're the same movie every time.
Girl meets boy.
And sometimes boy and or girl might be a big actor. Might.
Let's see. This one has Zachary Levi and then Alexis Bledel, who the only thing I know she's been in was just Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Yeah, I'm looking to see, like, if there's really been anything else we've seen him in, or if there's anything I can watch in the future. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, we've only seen him in a few things, but frankly, they're enough to where I'm like, he's, like, one of my favorite actors, really. But, like, and he can sing very well. That's also part of why I really liked him in Tangled. Because they don't do it so much anymore, but a lot of, like, the older, like, Disney princess films, a lot of people, or a lot of the characters had singing voices that were different from their speaking voices. I don't know if it's just because some of the other voice actors couldn't really sing, or if they just wanted to ensure that they had someone good. I don't know. But a lot of times now they're actually getting people who can do the voices and sing. So for Tangled, they had Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore. Who I knew before that she could sing because of the movie A Walk to Remember. And she sang that song Only Hope, which is one of my favorite songs. Super pretty. So I knew it before that she could sing. I didn't know about Zachary Levi. And
we had not seen him in anything before that.
No, we hadn't. Because we didn't get into Chuck until pretty much
Well
after it was over. Yeah, he blew me away in that one, which part of me is kind of like, I wish he got more singing in that movie.
Yes, I agree.
I totally agree. I mean, he only got a couple of lines in I Have a Dream, and then he had the duet with Mandy Moore, which was beautiful. By the way, it's like that one's one of my favorite Disney songs, I think. I mean, the song and the scene itself is just beautiful. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean,
Love
the lanterns and everything, and them in the boat, on the lake, or the river, I don't know what it is, just some body of water.
It's impressive right there.
Oh, nice.
Just to bring the color back out.
Anyway, I mean, that whole scene is just a beautiful scene, which I did see. We had looked at something just prior to recording this. I found a thing that was just like, all these things you didn't know about Tangled, and obviously just like behind the scenes stuff. But it was the shot of Rapunzel when she gets that one lantern, that floats towards her, and then she lifts it back up to the sky. That one was actually the one that her parents sent off, because it's the only one that has the sun. Well, no, I saw it had the sun, but I thought they all had that on it.
Nope. I've always noticed that because that's significant.
That movie's been out how long, and I've seen it how many times? I just now know this. I don't know. I always assumed that all the lanterns had the sun on it, so I just thought it was just another regular old lantern, but nope. That was the one that her parents had. Let me show them that later.
Okay. We're almost done,
I know, but still. But yeah, I really wish that Zachary Levi had more singing in the one, because he has a really great voice. There was something else that I either saw him or heard him in that he sang for, and I'm totally blanking on what it was. So I remember thinking, yes, he's getting to sing again, and I can't even remember it now. And I'm gonna try and look it up. But anyway, I think he might have been like in a Broadway show or something. I don't quite remember. But anyway, frankly, he's very talented. I honestly think he should be more popular, I think. Don't you think? I'm hoping that after Shazam, he might get a little more popularity. Because he's one of those, people know about him, but he's not, at the...
Hopefully he becomes a front runner for the DCU.
Hopefully. He's one of those, people know about, but he's not, one of the first actors people think of when you think, a Hollywood actor. I mean, most people think, people from, Marvel or DC or, other, popular, TV shows, Game of Thrones type stuff. But I mean, he should be up there. He should have more popularity. I hope in the future he'll gain more stardom, I think. Cause he's super talented. And now it's gonna kill me that I can't think of other things that I know he's sung in, because I know I heard him somewhere else. And I knew it was gonna be good. If I think of it, I'll probably mention it next episode. I'll write down a note to mention it. Do you have other things to say about Zachary Levi?
Not really. I think we've all said it. He's great. I like the guy. I want more of him in the DC. I just want more of him in general.
Yeah, I want more Zachary Levi. I'm gonna see what other look more closely into other stuff that he's done in the past, and maybe try and see some more of his work, so then I have more stuff to talk about, at least in the future. Which I don't know if he had anything else really coming up.
No, not really.
Other than he's in the new Kingdom Hearts game, but that's
he's in Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, he's Flynn Rider.
That's as Flynn Rider.
Of course he is.
That's the big Disney-based game.
Yes, but that doesn't mean you always get the same voices.
I don't know.
They got James Wood back as Hades because he loves being Hades.
They've pretty much gotten every Disney voice, other than Merida for some reason, but they have another actress who I know sounds exactly like her.
Yeah.
Like this actress like literally does her voice like in video games, but they got the same actress for Wreck-It Ralph. They got the original voice actress for her, for Merida.
Oh yeah, they did.
In Wreck-It Ralph.
They got the voice actor for everybody except for Snow White because she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
Everyone else is still alive, but apparently.
That was impressive to me that they got almost literally every original voice actor.
I remember I saw that because I remember I was on Ming Na Wen's IMDb page for looking for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I saw Wreck-It Ralph. I was like, Wreck-It Ralph too? And I scrolled and I was like, she says Mulan. And then I saw, and Dina Menzel is Elsa. And I was like, it's everyone. Like, it's all of them.
Yeah,
and I was like,
everyone.
wait, okay, Cinderella. I'm like, yeah, same Cinderella. I was like, same Merida. It's like, it's all the same ones.
Yeah, they got like Paige O'Hara and Ali Cravalho. I can't remember how to say her name, but Moana, you know?
It's like, it's everyone. Mandy Moore has her puns. Like, it's literally all of them.
Every single princess.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up here. We're getting a little overtime.
Which part was kind of like, why couldn't they have like the princes in there too? We would have gotten Zachary Levi again.
We don't care. We care about Flynn Rider, but he's not a prince.
He is a prince.
We don't care
He's the most realistic Disney prince.
We don't care about the other prince. Let's be honest. We don't care about the other princes.
Yeah, that's true.
They can go.
He has been classified as the only Disney prince that actually questioned certain things, like why people are singing.
Why we're singing, yeah.
Why are we singing?
I don't sing.
I don't sing. I've made a decision to trust you. A horrible decision, really. Like, he's like super realistic.
Hi. How's it going? Name's Flynn Rider.
The man who perfected the smolder.
Yep. So,
anyway,
we're gonna call it here. Thank you so much for joining in today, for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure, or the podcast, leave a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe, and please share. We want to, keep doing this. We want to keep reaching out to people and doing things. We're very appreciative of any comments or of outreach that we get. Thank you so much for those of you who continue to be with us week to week. Anything you want to add?
Email us with comments, questions, or topic ideas at forcecast327@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook and stuff like that. Thank you again for listening.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed it. We don't quite have a topic for next week lined up. We'll
get it sorted.
We're still working out those details.
Yes.
But look for a post on Facebook about that when we do finally get that decided. And we'll either have it just for next week or maybe we'll have a lineup for the rest of April. Now that apparently is now coming up.
Yes, April's next week.
I know we've said it before, but on April 25th, is it?
We will not be doing one.
Yeah, on April 25th, we will not be recording.
Because Endgame.
Because Endgame. We are going to the early showing of Endgame.
I'm sure everyone who listens to this can forgive us for that.
If
by the way,
not,
Shayla,
you have a problem.
By the way, Shayla's not seeing Infinity War.
What?
Or Homecoming. But Infinity War is much more pressing.
Okay, well now you know what we're doing when she comes home.
Yes.
Anyway.
Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed.
May the Force be with you.